Welcome to another scrapbooking process video. I'm Tracy, also known as MercyTiara, and I do scrapbooking process videos and more here on my channel. I'm starting today's layout with a sketch, and this is going to be a fairly quick layout. And I just had an idea of laying out some strips of paper and some pom-pom trim and having a small photo and just kind of throwing it together super fast. It's a really great way to scrapbook maybe a less important photo or something that doesn't have a huge story to tell along with it. I'm starting off with my kit planning tool, which is a PDF document that you can get from MercyTiaraKits.com. Just sign up for our newsletter and you'll be able to get this 4-page document that includes these sketches, these sketch spaces for you to plan out some projects, and there are a number of other worksheets included in those 4 pages. And I've been finding it really handy for planning out how I want to use my kits each month. And so I'm starting by actually taking apart these frames, which hurt my heart a little bit because I love these frames, but I wanted to use just the trim on them. I'm going to hang on to the chipboard pieces actually, because I do really love especially that beautiful glitter frame. That gold glitter one can definitely be tucked underneath of some layers in another page. So I'll be hanging on to those pieces for sure, but I wanted 3 pieces of the trim here. So I have a white, a red, and a green. I left the black one intact, and I think I already used another one. These frames came with the main kit from the Joy kit from MercyTiara Kits, which is my kit club. We offer scrapbooking kits each month, so check us out if you're interested in scrapping along with me and using the same supplies. I'm starting by matting my photo. It's a 2.5 by 2.5 inch photo of a gingerbread house. It's actually a photo of our gingerbread house from last year. For now, I'm leaving the designer strip on the bottom of it, but I'm going to cut it off. As you can see, I changed my mind about that. And just that teeny little smidge of the blue star paper was exactly what I was looking for this one. I'm thinking that I might put some of that pom-pom trim underneath of the photo, but first I'm going to work on my strips that I had already decided I wanted to use. So I'm using some of this plaid paper from the kit and the floral paper from the kit, and then another strip of this other floral. It has like holly berries and holly on it, as well as some flowers. Love those papers. And they all just came in the kit. And I'm just thinking about how I might want to balance this off. I want something off to the left here to go along with my photo, which will be to the left, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. So I thought about putting the photo on the doily. I think that looks really great, but it's not going to be what I end up doing. I don't even know what my title is going to be at this point, but I see that word joy there, and I'm just writing that down, that I think I want to call this Gingerbread Joy, and that'll give me a chance to use that joy sticker from the Vicky Bouton stickers from the title set that came in the embellishment add-on. Now I'm going to cut the berries apart from the little holly leaf pieces. This is a cut apart that I actually cut. It's actually the back side of the blue star paper that I matted my photo in. It's this giant wreath with holly on it, and I love it. And I actually cut out a few pieces of the holly leaves and berries in my last layout, which I didn't do. It was the Swifty, It's a Swifty Life layout. That one I had cut the holly for, but I didn't end up using it. So I'll be using some of the holly on this page. Now, besides the gingerbread houses, which I actually fussy cut those off camera, I fussy cut them while I was on a phone call with somebody and just cutting as I went. And so those are all available there for me to use. I just cut a random number of them. I'm going to make them look like they're sitting on a little ledge. But I also wanted to include the pattern paper with the houses on it because I really like how the houses look with the little bits of little snowflakes in the sky and whatnot. So I'm planning to put those pieces so that they're peeking out from behind the background paper. And I chose to go with this super bold green paper that came in the kit, came in the main kit this month. And I just really love that unexpected shade of vibrant lime green. It coordinates so beautifully with some of the Paige Evans items in this kit, but this page actually doesn't have any of those Paige Evans items, but I think that it looks really great with these other products as well. I love to mix and match my products and come up with new looks, and so that's what this is. Now, the word gingerbread is kind of long there, especially compared to how small the word joy is. So I don't really love how that's looking, especially where I've got all of these already long horizontal elements with the shelves on this page. Before I do anything, I'm going to add some gold splatter to my background. Just where it's a plain piece of cardstock, I just wanted to add a little bit of visual interest. So I'm taking some Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine and I am just, splattering it. I have a little bitty bin there that I use to collect up different supplies that I want to use on my pages. So I had my gold mist in there. So now I will just lay out where I want my shelves to go and place some of these little gingerbread houses on my shelves. And this is an almost entirely decorative layout. I don't have much of a story to tell. The photo is just a photo of a gingerbread house from last year. And so it frees me up to be able to play around with some techniques that I don't typically do on a 12 by 12 layout. So this is really fun for me. Now, what I'm thinking here is that I might want to bend the word gingerbread around the word joy. I just don't know exactly how it's going to line up if I do that. So the only way to figure it out is to give it a try. These foam stickers they can be very, very sticky. So I'm not placing them down very hard on the paper because I knew that I might want to move them around a little bit. Just playing around with the placement so that I can get them lined up with there's like a little flourish coming off of the letter J and another flourish coming off of the letter Y. And so I just want to space out my letters so that they're looking good with those two flourishes. I really like how that looks. It's a little bit too high though. So I'm just going to sit and look at it for a little bit and then I'm going to decide, let's just move the whole thing down a little bit. So we'll just scooch this all down. So now that that's done, this is where I'm going to place that holly, is right to the left of this photo, and that's going to work really, really well. And then I'm going to align these papers so that the bottom shows the bottom parts of the houses and the top shows the top parts of the houses once I tear off little bits of the green background paper. So for now, I'm just placing it there so I don't forget to do that. I can't see me forgetting to do it, but I sometimes remind myself like that. I want these shelves to look fairly random. So I'm placing my houses in little clusters in ways that are not necessarily predictable. I don't want them all lined up. And I also didn't measure these shelves. They're different widths and they're different lengths. And I just really like that look. I'm using my T-square ruler so that I can just make sure that these shelves are relatively straight. They don't have to be perfect, but I do want them to be relatively straight so that my gingerbread houses don't fall off the shelf. And here goes the last one. That last one isn't even cut straight, but I kind of like the chunky, wonky look to it, so I just left it. I didn't bother fixing it. I think it looks kind of cute the way that it is. And since this page is really just for fun, it's all good. I thought about adding some more of those holly leaves underneath of there, but I'm deciding to not do that. I'm just going to have the holly leaves over here on the left side of the photo. We'll tuck them in just like that. And then it felt like this page needs a little something else, but I'm just going to think about that as I add the pom-pom trim to each of these shelves. So first, I'm just making sure that all of the cardstock pieces are removed from the trim because the glue that holds those frames together is fairly strong. So when I pulled it off, I just wanted to make sure that there were no little scraps of paper left. And I am using my Art Glitter Dries Clear Designer adhesive for this, and it's super strong, and it also has this really super fine tip. We sell it in our shop if you're looking for this, if you can't find it, but I think it's pretty widely available. The metal tip is a separate purchase, but it really makes a big difference in how useful this bottle of glue is. I've been using it for months now and really enjoying it. It's a game changer. It's become my glue of choice for my liquid glue. So as you see, I am just adhering those down, and as you see, I'm using that block to just weigh down the pom-pom trim as it's drying, and to also give myself something to press down with so that I don't get glue on my fingertips as well. We'll just tuck that little bit of holly in there, and I do want it to pull off the page a little bit, and where it's right by the edge of the page, it might not hold its space very well, so I'm just putting some pieces of foam adhesive underneath of there, and I'm using the 3mm foam pieces, so they're the thicker kind. They'll hold a bit more space. Next, I just want to tear a couple of pieces from, well, one from the top and one from the bottom. And I didn't want them to be massive, big pieces. So I just used my scissors to cut a little bit into the page, and then I'm just pulling back, tearing the paper. And I just keep comparing it to the little sliver of paper that I have to show through, just so that I can be sure that I'm showing, as I said, I want the bottoms of the houses to show down here. And so I just positioned it in such a way that you're seeing the bottoms of them. And then I'll just trim it down like that. I could have used scissors for that, but my trimmer gives me a nice long straight edge. And then I'll just tear this off as well, taking a page from the Sarah Wiles playbook here. She does this a lot on her pages, and I just love the look, so I decided to adopt it. I used to run strips across the top and bottom, but I really love this torn off look these days. So I'll do the same here and just make it so that those houses look like the little tops of them are peeking out up there. And then one thing that I like to do is just add a little bit of interest to those torn edges. I'm going to add my tiny attacher to each of these little torn pieces. So I realized I wanted the roller date stamp to show the date of this photo, particularly since it's not a photo from this year, it's from 2021. So I just took out some brown ink and stamped the date multiple times down there in the corner. And now is the time that I am taking a look at this and just thinking it needs one more thing. So I'll add my tiny attacher, 2 little staples up there, 2 little staples down below, and that's enough. I could have sprinkled confetti, I could have done a number of different things, but this was a fairly quick layout. So before I share the photos, just a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters. These folks help make this channel happen, so big thanks to all of them. Patrons get early ad-free access to all of my process videos and real-time unedited versions of my videos as well, with some monthly live streams and behind-the-scenes videos of my room and my process. So here are the photos of this one. It was a pretty quick one. It was really fun. I'm glad that you came along with me as I created it. Let me know in the comments below if you ever do any of these super quick and mostly decorative layouts that don't really tell much of a story, but just kind of give you a chance to play with some products and maybe try out some new ideas. Let me know how that goes for you when you do those kinds of layouts. I'd love to hear from you. Take care and have a really great scrappy week.